Hi, students. It's Mrs. Mullins. I'm here to help you go through the common lit assignment for Mr. Siebert called Don't Blame the Rats for Spreading the Black Death. It's the Black Plague. So here's the article, and I have the guiding questions up here on the side. And actually, I'm going to show you how to do this without reading the entire article. So I'm going to go down to question 1 and click on that. And the question says, where does the bacteria that cause the Black Death live? So what we're going to do is kind of look around, and you see my cursor kind of circling the area. We're going to look around in this area for the answer. So we're looking for, where does bacteria that cause Black Death live? So it says Black Death was an especially extreme outbreak of bubonic plague. I'm going to skip kind of around the question. The plague's species persist mostly because the rodents don't get sick, she explains. These animals can then form a reservoir for the plague. They serve as hosts. They're talking about the rats. The rats serve as hosts. So if they're a host, that means that plague is living on the inside of them. So which answer do you think is best, A, B, C, or D, with that in mind? B, inside rodents. Let's go to question 2. It says, how was the plague spread? And again, we're just going to kind of look around in this area. People can become infected with the plague in different ways. They can be bitten by a rat flea that's carrying plague. I'm sorry, can you hear my dog drinking water? He's in the room with me. I'm so sorry. Anyway, they can be bitten by a rat flea that's carrying plague. They can be bitten by a human flea carrying the plague, or they can catch it from another person, which means the plague is spread from person to person to person through an infected individual's cough or vomit. So having that kind of information, what do you think is the best answer? So they talked about it spread through flea bites, but it's also spread through infected humans. So my guess would be A. Look, that's right. Guess A was right. So let's go on to question 3. Different types of fleas, and then they're asking, what do they do? Transmit different plagues. They're harmless to their host. They can't be infected with the plague. They prefer biting different types of animals. Let's read around 3. It says, rat fleas prefer to bite rats, but they won't turn down a human if they're closer. It says, ever since scientists proved that rat fleas could transmit plague, they assumed those fleas were behind the Black Death. Rat fleas bit people, and people got the plague. So the rat fleas preferred biting different types of animals. I mean, the people too. So I'm going to answer D. Look, that's right. So on to 4. Why did scientists suspect flea rats weren't the most likely cause of the spread of the Black Death? Excuse me. So why did they suspect flea rats weren't the most likely cause? So here we're going to look in here. If scientists need an explanation, Dean and her colleagues had a candidate, human parasites. So what are my choices? I'm going to go with black rat fleas don't like biting humans. Yep, that one's right. So let's move on to question 5. How did Catherine Dean and her team support their theory? So we're going to look around here. Dean and her colleagues compare their model results to the patterns of real deaths. The model that assumed the disease was spread by human fleas and lice was the winner. It most closely matched the patterns and death rates seen from human transmissions. The scientists published their findings January 16th in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. So let's see, how did her team support the theory? So our answers are they compared Black Death infection trends today with past trends. This wasn't about that. They found evidence that people infected by black rat fleas didn't die often. That's not true. They discovered records of how Black Death victims were infected. I don't think that's the best choice. And then they found the death patterns reflected their model of human fleas spreading disease. And that one's actually the right one. So congratulations on that. You see, I'm just kind of moving my picture all the way around so that we can see the screen a little better. You're also supposed to answer the assessment questions. So I'll go over those with you too. Part A, number 1, which statement best expresses the central idea of the text? What do you think the central idea of this text is? A says, while humans were responsible for spreading plague in the past, it's largely rats that are responsible for plague outbreaks today. That's not true. The Black Death could have easily been prevented if humans had made a greater, look at, Owen's trying to say hi to you all. Sorry. Here's my doggy. Here's my doggy. He's saying hi. He doesn't like to be ignored. The Black Death could have easily been prevented if humans had made a greater effort to keep black rats and their fleas out of their homes. This wasn't about them being in their homes necessarily. They were biting them, but they were everywhere, not just in their homes. C says, it is likely that human fleas and unclean living conditions were the most responsible for the spread of the Black Death, rather than flea-carrying rats. Well, there were a lot of unclean conditions there, and the article did talk about how people really weren't bathing very well and didn't have good bathing practices back then. So that's probably a good candidate, but let's read D. The Black Death was spread quickly by humans because they didn't understand the disease was transmitted through rats. That's not really the best answer, so I'm going to suggest to you that maybe C is the best answer, but I'm not going to tell you that it is or not. You're going to have to guess. Let's go on to the next question. Number 2, which 2 details from the text best supports your answer to part B? Remember, you need to mark 2 choices there, and I'm going to let you figure that out on your own because that's something we've been doing for quite some time. What's your evidence? So I'm going to skip on to number 3. What is the author's main purpose in the text? So the main purpose of this article, main idea, is that A, to prove that rats are completely free of blame for spreading plagues. B, to propose and provide evidence that humans largely contributed to the spread of the Black Plague. C, to show people what they can do to prevent another outbreak of disease from occurring. Or D, to warn people about the potential dangers of being in close contact with infected animals. So really the best choice, I think, is, I'm going to narrow it down for you a little bit, is B or D. Number 4, which statement best describes the relationship between humans' cleanliness and preventing the spread of disease? So number 4 choices, A, cleaner living condition results in stronger human immune systems, which that's true. B, people who do not practice good hygiene build up immunities to diseases and are less likely to be infected. While that's true, I don't know if that best describes the relationship between humans and cleanliness. Uh-oh, do you hear Odin barking now? Oh, that poor dog. C, human cleanliness does not prevent the spread of diseases, but the development of vaccines does. Or D, cleaner living conditions can prevent humans from coming in contact with infected animals and insects carrying the disease. I'm going to pause. Sorry, where were we? I think I'm D. Cleaner living conditions can prevent humans from coming in contact with infected animals and insects carrying disease. That seems pretty relevant to what we were reading. So maybe that's your best choice. I'm going to go on. Number 5, how does the author's discussion of different death rates help readers understand the spread of the Black Death? Use evidence from the text in your response. Now let's talk about that's actually a writing assignment. So what you should be writing a response saying the author discusses the spread of the Black Plague, and then put your evidence from the text. And then the next sentence should be the death rate was impacted because or how, but the death rate was impacted this way. And put what you found from the text to answer that part of the question as well. I sure hope that this has been helpful, and I hope that Odin, that's my dog's name, hasn't been too loud. I hope also that you're wearing some sort of sports day shirt. I'm not. I'm wearing a shirt that has my son's footprint on it because today is his birthday. So happy birthday to my son. Hope you're all having a great day. We'll talk soon.